Welcome to the deep dive. Look, if you thought you knew Excel, maybe think again. Today we're really cracking open the documentation.
Yeah.
We're going to uncover 10, let's call them lesser-known capabilities, the
Right.
secrets, really, of Copilot in Microsoft Excel.
Right.
This isn't just about, a few new shortcuts. It's about achieving, well, total analytical fluency.
This is absolutely essential if you're looking to get back some serious time in your week. The sources show Copilot kind of shifts you. You move from being the mechanic deep in the engine
Okay.
to being more like the architect designing the whole thing. Our mission today, make sure you walk away with at least, say, 5 of these secrets really internalized. So you can genuinely visualize maybe a 30% cut in the time you spend just wrestling with data. That's the transformation we're talking about.
And let's be clear, while these features are documented by Microsoft, your critical judgment, that's still your most valuable asset here. Copilot's incredibly powerful, yes, but the documentation stresses this again and again. It doesn't replace your need to verify things. Human validation is key.
We've got to strike that balance, right? So the objective is clear. You need to understand the limits, the precautions that come with this AI power, but at the same time, learn how to combine these tricks, these secrets, with the Excel skills you already have for, genuinely better and faster results, turning spreadsheet work into, well, conversational productivity.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting where every Excel user lives, formulas. Secret number 1 tackles generating complex formulas just using, well, conversational language.
This is such a big deal. Forget, frantically Googling or trying to remember the exact order of brackets for some crazy function.
Yeah, the syntax nightmares.
Exactly. Now you can just tell Copilot, in plain English, what you want that cell to do.
So, like, instead of building some complicated nested IF for commission rates, I could just ask, calculate the commission here, 10% for sales over $5, 5% for less.
Precisely that. Copilot gets that natural language request, and boom, it spits out the formula you need.
Wow.
And what's really neat is how it adapts to the context. You might ask it, calculate the percentage growth month over month.
Okay.
Copilot knows the standard way, new, old. It finds the data it thinks is relevant nearby and just applies it.
But what if it generates the formula and maybe grabs the wrong cell or anchors a reference when it shouldn't? How do you fix that without starting over?
Okay. That's where the advanced tip comes in. If the result looks off, don't just delete and try again.
Right.
Ask Copilot to explain step by step its logic. It'll break down the formula it made and tell you why it picked the cells it did.
Oh, okay.
This lets you tweak your prompt really precisely, fixing that specific context issue instead of just guessing again.
And flipping that, what if you inherit a spreadsheet full of complex formulas you didn't write? Secret 2 is like instant relief.
Yeah.
Explanation of existing formulas.
Oh yeah, this is so crucial for teamwork or auditing. You stumble upon some massive array formula, right? Or a dense financial calculation. Instead of spending half an hour tracing commas and brackets, Copilot just breaks it down for you. It tells you simply what the formula is trying to do, what bits it's using, and what the final number means.
That's not just faster. It feels like it lowers the mental strain, too. You learn quicker. You verify work almost instantly.
Exactly. It speeds up learning and cuts down that audit time on complex old spreadsheets to seconds.
Okay, moving on. Let's hit that big time sink, data cleaning. Section 2 starts with Secret 3, automatic cleaning and anomaly detection.
Right, this is where so much effort gets wasted. Copilot can handle the real drudgery, getting rid of duplicates automatically, trimming extra spaces, handling null values, standardizing formats.
Like different date formats or currency symbols.
Exactly, all that inconsistent stuff. But where it gets really smart is anomaly detection. You can actually prompt it to find outliers, errors, inconsistencies.
So way beyond just the basic remove duplicates button then.
Oh, significantly. For example, say you're looking at sales data. One entry shows a $5 million sale, but usually sales for that product are around $5,000. Copilot flags that, says, hey, this looks atypical, you should check it.
Can you give us a really potent prompt? Something someone listening could use right away for that kind of deep cleaning.
Okay, try this. Review this table and clean the data. Pretty standard start. Then add, eliminate duplicates, replace any missing values with the median for that column, and actively mark the 5 most atypical values in the revenue column using conditional formatting.
Wow. Okay. That one prompt covers a lot.
So it really does. It replaces maybe half a day of just manual validation drudgery.
Okay. But we absolutely have to repeat the critical warning here. When Copilot changes your source data, which cleaning often does, you must review and verify those changes. Don't just trust it blindly, like automatically replacing nulls with a median. That could seriously skew a financial metric if you're not careful about the data shape.
Couldn't agree more. Think of Copilot as, like, the world's fastest intern. You always, always double-check the intern's work.
Good analogy. Okay, let's pivot now. Section 3, instant insights and predictive analysis. Starting with Secret 4, automatic pivot table creation.
Pivot tables, yeah, the heart of Excel analysis for many. But actually setting them up, dragging fields, choosing filters, values, it can be a bit clunky.
A bit. Sometimes it's a lot clunky.
Fair point. Copilot smooths that right out. You just ask for the result you want.
So something like generate a dynamic table showing our Q3 sales, break it down by region and product category, and show both the sum and the average revenue.
Exactly that. And the tool's clever enough to structure it well and then immediately suggest relevant charts based on that new pivot table. You've gone from raw data to dynamic analysis basically in one conversational step.
And we don't just stop at the table itself. Secret 5 builds on that, generating smart graphics.
Correct. You don't have to puzzle over which chart time is best anymore. Should it be a bar, a line, a pie? You can just ask, show a visualization comparing our main KPI by quarter, and make sure to include a trend line. Copilot picks the axes, the best chart type, maybe a combo chart, and the right scale, often better than you might do manually fiddling around.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Secret 6, analyzing trends, correlations, and even what-if scenarios. This feels like it moves beyond just reporting the past.
It does. This is where Copilot starts acting a bit like those specialized business intelligence tools. It can spot correlations in your data that might not be obvious and run quick hypothetical models right there.
So if I ask it about a simple 10% sales bump, how much further can this late predictive analysis actually go?
You can get pretty specific. Try modeling variables against each other, like if we boost our marketing spend by 15% in the Northeast next month, assuming historical conversion rates hold up, what's the likely impact on our inventory needs and projected gross margin? It gives you a quick, localized forecast based on the data you fed it. That's the kind of actionable insight that used to mean building a whole separate model, maybe even regression analysis.
That speed is just staggering. But it all hinges on prompting it. Well, right. Which brings us perfectly to our next section, maybe the most crucial for listeners. Mastering the meta skills of prompting. Secrets 9 and 10.
Yes. These are the ones that make the difference between getting, decent results and getting truly revolutionary results. Secret 9 is all about using explicit context, giving it details.
Why is that so important? Why can't I just say, look at the whole sheet and figure it out?
Because these large language models, they thrive on specifics. And let's face it, Excel sheets can be messy places.
Sure.
Copilot works dramatically better when you give it, GPS coordinates instead of just a vague map.
Right.
If you have multiple tables or data sets, you absolutely have to point it to the right range, the specific table name, the exact column headers.
So instead of just analyze sales, I need to be way more specific. In the table named Ventas 2025, group the data by the canal column and calculate the average sales using the Ventas column.
Precisely. You're just removing any ambiguity. Always use those column names in your prompts. It helps the AI lock onto the right data immediately.
Which flows right into Secret 10, this idea of prompts that evolve. Iterative refinement. It's not just one request and done.
Exactly. The best results almost never come from the very first try. You have to embrace this cycle. Make an initial request, look at what it gives you, then ask for improvements.
It's like having a conversation to refine it. Start simple, get a draft, then polish it. Make that table smaller, or add a filter for margins over 40%, or even could you change that bar chart to a waterfall?
Yep. And a high-level tip here is to define the style you want upfront. Ask for a summary or a table or a graph. And if you're not sure which visual works best, ask Copilot to generate options.
Like, show me this data as both a bar chart and a line graph.
Exactly. So you can compare and pick the most effective one.
That iterative process, that conversation. That feels like the core skill you need to really get that 30% time saving we talked about.
It absolutely is. It's the path to maximizing the quality of what Copilot produces for you.
Okay, now let's step into what feels like the real frontier of Excel. Secret 7, Python integration.
This is huge. Microsoft has actually integrated the ability for Copilot to generate Python code right inside Excel
Wow.
using really powerful libraries like Pandas for data crunching or Matplotlib for custom visuals, all within the Excel environment.
Now, most listeners are probably good with Excel formulas, but maybe not Python coders.
Yeah.
So why does this matter so much if you aren't writing Python yourself?
Because it lets you do complex things, especially statistical operations that are just, well, almost impossible with standard Excel formulas alone.
Like what?
Think about sophisticated stuff, generating maybe a kernel density estimate for a financial risk distribution, or running a complex time series forecast using advanced stats models. You don't write the code, you just ask Copilot for the result, and it uses Python behind the scenes to deliver it.
That really opens up a whole new level of advanced analysis without ever having to leave the spreadsheet.
It absolutely does.
Okay, finally, Secret 8, the newest thing and the one that seems to come with the biggest warning signs, the cell-based Copilot function.
Right. This lets you put a prompt directly into an Excel cell, like Copilot, summarize this column B2.B20.
And the result just appears in that cell.
Instantly generated right
Yeah.
there. It's incredibly handy for quick things like classifying text or summarizing descriptions.
But the sources are really hammering the point about limitations, especially around precision. We need to dig into why that warning is so strong.
We really do. The core issue is that these large language models, they're probabilistic, not deterministic, meaning they don't just retrieve exact data like a lookup function. They predict the most likely sequence of words or numbers based on their massive training data and the prompt. So if you use this function for, say, critical financial calculations, the model might, well, the technical term is hallucinate.
Can you explain what hallucinate means when we're talking about numbers in Excel? That sounds bad.
It means the model might essentially make things up. It could synthesize facts, generate numbers that aren't actually in your source data, or just misunderstand the context you gave it. The result might look plausible, but it could be mathematically wrong or factually incorrect based on your actual data.
Okay, that's serious.
It is. That's why Microsoft explicitly warns, do not use this for critical financial reports where every single digit has to be perfectly accurate and reproducible.
And what about usage limits? Can I just fill a whole column with this function?
No, definitely not. There are pretty strict limits on the API calls. Right now, it's something like 100 calls per 10 minutes, maybe 300 per hour. You can't use it for massive batch jobs across thousands and thousands of rows.
Okay.
And another key thing, currently, it can't reach outside the workbook to access, say, internal documents or live data from the web. Its context is limited.
So the bottom line for Secret 8 is great for maybe summarizing text, classifying things, some exploratory analysis.
Yep.
But absolutely do not rely on it for any calculation that really matters.
Precisely. Human review, human verification, always. Especially for anything that influences strategy or finances.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you listening? We've covered 10, frankly, incredible secrets here, showing how Copilot can boost efficiency everywhere, cleaning, formulas, analysis, visuals. But the absolute key seems to be that iterative conversational approach. Secret 10, combined with constant human checking.
And that huge warning, it really needs to sink in, not just be a throwaway line, because the AI is probabilistic. Functions like Copilot are just not suitable for tasks needing absolute repeatable precision.
Especially critical financial reporting.
Exactly. You must always keep that human validation step for anything strategic or financially sensitive.
And we should also quickly mention data governance. When you use Copilot, particularly with sensitive company data,
Yeah, good point.
you have to be aware of your organization's data privacy and security rules. Make sure how Copilot processes that data stays compliant.
The sophistication of how you use it needs to match the sensitivity of the data you're feeding it. Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the final thought to leave you with. Considering how fast this tech is changing, and we know functions like Copilot are constantly being updated, maybe even changing behavior, how are you ensuring that your team and, frankly, your own skills stay sharp enough to actually capitalize on these secrets as they evolve? That's the challenge to think about until our next deep dive.